Welcome back. We are continuing the discussion on immigration here. Polls are still open on CNBC.com/vote. Let us know who you think should be making this policy, the president or Congress. So far, by about an 8-2 margin. Did I get that right? People think Congress should be doing it. So with me now is Republican Congressman Michele Bachmann from Minnesota, joining us here as Closing Bell takes on Washington. Welcome. It's great to see you.
Good to see you, too. Thank you for having me. Afternoon.
I don't know if you just heard Representative Chris Van Hollen before you, the Maryland Democrat, but he said time and time and time again that the way to handle this issue is for Speaker Boehner to let the House vote on the bill that the Senate has already passed. Is Speaker Boehner standing in the way of the will of the people here?
He's not standing in the way of the will of the people. The will of the people just spoke at the ballot boxes, and if you look at the exit polling, 2/3 of the people of exit polling said that they didn't agree with President Obama's executive amnesty. Now, that's an amazing number because we're way beyond Republicans and independents. This includes Democrats, too. So I think your polling from your viewers is very reflective of where the American people are at. They want us to observe what we call in Congress regular order. In other words, follow the rules that Congress has set up, because that gives the American people and businesses safety, because there's more certainty when government follows its own rules.
But do you think this country generally needs to have a better immigration policy?
Of course. There's no one, Republican, Democrat, who doesn't believe that we've got a problem in immigration. We absolutely do. We love immigrants as a nation. I'm married to an immigrant. We love them because we all are a part of an immigrant community, but it has to be orderly. That's really what this is about. Will we have complete open borders where there's chaos and pandemonium, or will we have an orderly system where it works for America? Our system has to work for our country.
You're on your way out of Congress, I know, but I know that the new Congress in January, I mean, we've heard Mitch McConnell saying there will be a response to what the president is doing tonight. Is it possible that that response is actually to pass its own version now, finally, of an immigration bill in the House?
Well, as you know, Senator McConnell hasn't revealed what his plan is yet in the new Senate, and John Boehner hasn't revealed what his plan is. But I do know that they are going to uphold what the people of this country want, and that is to make sure that we observe the laws of the land, which is we pass a law through Congress, we put it on the president's desk, and the president is forcing this issue by deciding that rather than do what we do across the street, which is pass bills, he's going to speak a law into existence. That's not our form of government, because that takes away the right of every single voter in this country.
It does seem like immigration, though, and I agree. I mean, listen, that's exactly what I was just asking your colleague from across the aisle, but it does seem on the issue of immigration as though there is a history of presidents having to act on this front. Does the narrow issue of immigration change your general view on the matter?
No, the law applies to all issues. There isn't one issue that's exempt, and this issue, more than others, needs to be respected. I think a lot of viewers don't know that America is the most generous immigration country in the world. If you look at any other country in the world...
developed country.
No, all countries. If you look at every country in the world, the United States receives more immigrants every year than any other country in the world. But we allow over 1 million people legally.
It is quite generous.
We're extremely generous.
I was in the UK. They're much more restrictive, but we still hear from business leaders every day who tell us, please do something to loosen up this immigration policy. What I want to ask, though, actually, is about something I thought that you had said about this. You thought this was just presidential politics so that the president could get illiterate voters to turn out for the party in the future, or something to that effect?
Well, what this is really about is the American worker, and will the rights and values of the American worker be protected? Because this is going to change the dynamic literally overnight, because we will see a flooding of the marketplace with new, relatively low-skilled employees, and the president is saying 5 million. No one knows what that number is going to be. I think people will be shocked. What if it's 10 million?
What if it is? What if it's 15 or 20? I mean, what is the real concern?
Well, the real concern is what is the impact on the American worker, because the law of supply and demand tells us that wages will be depressed.
No, but you know better than that. That ultimately this is about the freer movement of labor and capital and supporting the policies that have built this country.
I am an employer. I am a former federal tax litigation attorney. I deal with this issue, and the laws of supply and demand are the laws of supply and demand. No one, again, is saying that we shouldn't have reform, and that there are areas and industries that need to be addressed in particular. In fact, you know, stapling a green card onto a PhD in tech kind of makes sense. So there's a lot of areas where I think that we can get to yes. I want to see us get to yes, because I don't want industries in America to suffer.
To be held back.
Ultimately, I want American businesses to succeed and thrive, but everybody has to win at this game. And so let's make sure that we have a reform that will benefit workers and those who want to come into this country, because that's good that people want to come into this country, but employers too.
But I just want to point out as well that, as you earlier indicated, 81% of our voters think it should be Congress making policy on immigration. Here. Michele Bachmann, thank you for being here.
I agree with
your perspective
viewers.
this
Thank you.
afternoon.